movies, so we're at number 40. I just noticed this next batch of 10 movies. It's like I just was looking at the titles. I was like, man, that's a good batch of movies. Some good titles coming up here for you. Anyways, in my opinion, anyways. But this one here, number 40, this one may raise some eyebrows and be like, what? And that's because number 40 is National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. And there was no Loaded Weapon 2, just in case you was wondering. But yeah, Emilio Estevez, Samuel L. Jackson. You know, it's a comedy movie. It's a spoof, basically a spoof comedy, kind of like Naked Gun or Hot Shots. It's that kind of comedy. William Shatner, Tim Curry's in it. You know, it's just, again, a lot of my movies, it's about rewatchability. It's like, so can I put this in here? Can I put a movie in and even though I've seen it several times, 10, 20 times, 30 times, can I still put it in and still enjoy it because I enjoy what it is? It's like, because I look at movies as like, almost like a piece of art, right? Well, think about like, it's the same thing as like art or music, you know, maybe music is easier to understand. It's like, if you have a favorite album of all time, you're gonna want to enjoy it time and time again. You know, from time to time, you want to pop it in and listen to it. You don't want to just say, well, yeah, that's my favorite album of all time, but I never listen to it anymore. Like it's okay, right? It's okay to watch stuff or listen to stuff over and over. I mean, if you like it, if it brings you enjoyment, right? That's what it's all about. Who cares what other people think? That's my motto. Anyways, enough about that life lesson. But yeah, number 30 is National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. To me, it's comical. It's funny. So yeah. So number 39 is The Matrix. Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, right? Very groundbreaking sci-fi movie, sci-fi futuristic movie. I mean, with the special effects that they did, you know, with that zoom camera and that how it like that they do those angles. It's like, yeah, very groundbreaking movie. But this still awesome sci-fi action too, right? Keanu Reeves, yeah, it's a good one. All right, number 38. Double Impact. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Maybe one of his best movies, you know, that he did, like, you know, again, on his own. When I say on his own, because, you know, I always think about Universal Soldier that had him and Dolph Lundgren, so it's like, that's not just his movie, like, because Dolph has his own fans and following, so, and truth be told, Dolph stole the show in that movie. He kind of outdid Van Damme, but he was playing the character, right? Anyways, back to this one. Double Impact, right? He plays twin brothers, so they have very different personalities. So, you know, obviously he had to do like extra work in this movie. He's basically playing two parts, right? So when you think about that, it's like, okay, you appreciate that. You appreciate that work and extra effort he did. So yeah, there he's in a tux there, but also Bolo Young is in it. He plays he's like a villain. That's the same guy that was in Bloodsport with him. Okay, so yeah, that guy is back. You know, this came out, you know, I'm gonna say 4 to 5 years after Bloodsport. So, because this was in 1991, Bloodsport was in like the late 80s, maybe 86, 87, or 88, somewhere in there. But yeah, Double Impact, awesome movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Alright, number 37 is Passenger 57. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, this is probably my favorite movie of his. I don't know, it's got a good pace to it. It's fast paced, you know. There's really no like that many like real long of slow moments, or you know, it's like it's just like, it keeps going and going. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57. And this movie's even referenced in the first Bad Boys movie, you know, when Martin Lawrence's character gets out and they're getting carjacked, but then they turn their tables on the guy, and he's like, and he quotes this movie, he's like, Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57, now give me a handy wipe. So yeah, awesome movie. Number 36 is A View to a Kill. This is a James Bond movie. This is Roger Moore. That's him right there. Okay, that's and that's the cool thing. This is art. This is, you know, this is like artwork. This is like a painting, a drawing that somebody did. I love the artwork on these older VHS movies, right? I'd love to have a poster of that. That's like awesome artwork. But yeah, this was Roger Moore's final performance as James Bond. Okay. Also has a. I like the villain. You know, of course I like the actor, but Christopher Walken. Okay, Christopher Walken plays the villain in this movie. He plays Max. Oh crap, what's his name now? I want to say Max Shrek, but that's who he plays in Batman Returns. But his name's Max in this too. Zorin. There we go, Zorin, because the name of his company's name is Zorin Industries. So yeah, Christopher Walken plays the villain Max Zorin in this movie, and he does a fantastic job. And you know, even though people say Roger Moore was too old and he shouldn't have done this movie, but he did it. So I don't like the woulda, shoulda, coulda thing. It's like, hey, he did it. He made a decision. They all made a decision. It's like, yeah, all right, we got one more. He has one more in him. And I honestly don't have a problem with Roger Moore in this movie. I mean, even though people said he was too old, it's like, whatever. It's basically my favorite James Bond, though. So say what you want, right? Anyways, yeah, View to a Kill. Also has an awesome soundtrack. Duran Duran did the title song of View to a Kill. So a lot of good things about that movie. Okay, number 35. The Karate Kid. So yes, the original Karate Kid with Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, Martin Kove, William Zabka. I mean, do you want to talk about ultimate 80s movie and like just an iconic movie that's timeless? Like, it's got a following, right? Very enjoyable, even to this day. I enjoy watching it. So yeah, that's the cover there. Here's some screenshots of the back. You know, there's Martin Kove playing John Kreese. He's the sensei of Cobra Kai. Of course, there's Daniel and Ali, right? So yeah, original Karate Kid. Kick butt movie. The 2010 remake? Nah. That one's meh. That's all I'm going to say about it. Anyways, okay, number 34. Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. Now, a lot of you may not know this one, you know, because when people hear Stone Cold, they're like, oh, that wrestler. Like, no, this is the name of the movie. And Brian Bosworth, if you don't know who he was a football player. Okay, he went to the NFL. He played for the Seattle Seahawks. He didn't play real long, you know, but he has the famous, like, the Bo Jackson basically ran over him and to get the touchdown, and they actually did a commercial of it in recent years. Him and Bo Jackson did a commercial. So anyways, but yeah, this is a kick-ass action movie, biker movie. Okay, this is like a biker movie. He's a cop, but he goes undercover in this biker gang, you know. So look, I mean, you can tell it's action. Look at that, the whole back of it is flames, right? There's a car rolling. Yeah, awesome action movie. Full throttle in your face action movie. Love it. Can't recommend that one enough. Okay, so number 33 is Tombstone. Now, you talk about a great cast, right? Love that. Even though that's not, you know, that's just a photograph, but still thought that was a good photo of the guys there. But yeah, great cast. Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Bill Paxton, Sam Elliott, Michael Biehn, from the Terminator, played Kyle Reese in Terminator. He's in this. Powers Booth, okay? It's like, yeah, this one goes on and on. Even Billy Bob Thornton is in this movie, okay? He's got a minor role, but still. There's the back, there's Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's portrayal of Doc Holliday. I mean, a lot of people that's one big thing that stands out about this movie. But yeah, Tombstone, my favorite Western of all time. Probably always will be. Highly recommend that one. Okay, so number 32 is Spider-Man 2. Yeah, Spider-Man 2. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. Yes, those are the Spider-Man movies I like. I didn't really care for the ones that came after that when they changed actors. There's the back of it. But yeah, the first Spider-Man's great. It's good. It's great, it's good, but this one just, I don't know. This is another example where the sequel just kind of it's just better, I don't know. I mean, I like the villain, Dr. Octopus, or Doc Ock for short. They did that guy, I don't even know his name, but that actor, he did a great job. And yes, that was CGI. I know I've talked about CGI. I'm not crazy about it. But again, this was CGI where it wasn't the whole movie, right? So, but yeah. Anyways, Spider-Man 2. Now this one here also may raise some eyebrows. But number 31 is Cutthroat Island. With Gina Davis and Matthew Modine. Also Frank Langella as the villain. This is a pirate movie. Okay, again, look at that artwork. That's not a photograph. That is artwork. Love it. And then look at this on the back. Look, I mean, does that look epic? Just those ships there, right? It's a pirate movie. So you're talking about buried treasure. There's somewhat of a little bit of a romance with Matthew Modine and Gina Davis, right? They cross paths, but yeah, and the ending, right? The climactic ending is epic because again, this was in the mid-90s, so everything wasn't CGI back then. They did stuff for real. I don't want to spoil it for you because I don't like spoilers, but what they did at the ending, basically, I'm just put it this way. Here's the thing. Those are real ships. They built I'll just say it. If you don't want spoilers, then fast forward or whatever. But they built a real full-scale ship and basically blew it up for real. It was like a real explosion, and it's like they captured the explosion beautifully. I mean, when you see it, it's epic, And I don't toss that word. I don't use that word, lightly. Epic. That explosion, yeah, it's memorable, right? So, but yeah, even besides that though, this good solid action pirate movie, right? I'm gonna say probably I think it took place maybe the 16 or 1700s. I'm gonna say 1700s, yeah. So again, I like those time periods. So yeah, Cutthroat Island, my favorite pirate movie, comes in at number 31. So number 30, True Lies, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Awesome action movie. This was kind of his rebound from Last Action Hero that didn't fare well at the box office. So this was another blockbuster. James Cameron teaming up with James Cameron again. The guy who brought us Terminator 1 and 2 and Aliens. So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, pretty good action spy movie. If you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. Coming in at number 29 is Broken Arrow. John Travolta and Christian Slater. Also co-starring Howie Long. Just a straight up solid action movie. There's no like really slow down, very fast paced. There's no really, like I said, there's really no slowdown. There's no like, there's really nothing in this movie. You know how you watch some movies and it's like, okay, come on, why'd you put that in here? It's like, you know, stuff that like makes you want to fast forward. Like this movie, this doesn't have any of that. It's like everything in this movie, it's like it belongs. It's part of the story. It's part of the action, right? It's like I said, it's like non-stop. This movie, Broken Arrow. A lot of people forget about it, but great movie, love it. Coming in at number 28 is the original Superman. That's right, Christopher Reeve. That Superman. That's my go-to for Superman. There he is, the Man of Steel, flying there with his cape and suit on. You know, Christopher Reeves as Superman, Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, okay, and Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. You know, this is the classics. This is the ones that like, and these are the type of movies I can watch over and over. It's just, I don't know, it's just got a good feel to it. But yeah, I would take this one here, or any of the first four, because there was Christopher Reeve did four Superman. I would take any of those four over, you know, what's his name? Is it Harry Cavill, his Superman movies? Nah. Coming in at number 27, RoboCop. Peter Weller as RoboCop, Ronnie Cox as Dick Jones. You know, this is, I mean, let's look at that. Let's look at that classic cover, getting out of the car. There's also like, you know, many video games made after this movie. I mean, of course they made an arcade game, but they made like 2 arcade games, like, because there was a sequel to, there was actually 2 sequels, RoboCop 2 and 3. I would recommend RoboCop 2. It's a solid sequel. It's not as good as this one, but it's a solid sequel though. Not RoboCop 3, not so much. But yeah, there's the back. Here's where he's got his gun out, he's shooting. There's the big Ed 209, which stands for Enforcement Droid. There he is with Clarence Bodiger. So yeah, RoboCop, original RoboCop. Pretty awesome action sci-fi movie. Well, I don't know if you'd really call it sci-fi because it takes place on Earth, right? But you know, I guess maybe action fantasy. There you go. Maybe that's a better term for it. Okay, so number 26 is Point Break. Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. Look at those two guys. There's the ex-presidents, right? Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. It's like, yeah. Also, Gary Busey's in this movie. Just a solid, you know, action movie. Kind of, it's like, you know, he goes undercover, so it's like he kind of gets too close, too thick. You know, because he kind of like gets pulled into the lifestyle. Keanu Reeves, you know, Keanu Reeves plays an FBI agent, and he goes undercover because he's trying to bust those guys, these ex-presidents that rob banks, right? See, there's the guy that has a Richard Nixon mask on, right? But here's there's a close-up. There's I think they got, you know, Ronald Reagan, LBJ, Jimmy Carter. You know, those are the ex-presidents, and they rob banks. So yeah, Point Break, solid action movie. Check it out. And the remake, nah. Once again, remake, bleh. Alright, number 25, right? We're in the top 25. So coming in at number 25 is The Professional with John Reno and Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman plays a awesome villain in this movie. He's just his character, right? He's psychotic, basically. He's a cop, but he's like a dirty cop and he's psychotic. And but yeah, the Professional is about, you know, that guy. He's a hitman, right? And but it's kind of a different thing. He basically, he's a hitman, but he also takes this little girl in, like her family, you know, gets hit basically, and she's all alone, and basically the hitman helps her out. So it's kind of like a twist. It's like you don't expect that from a hitman to take on some little girl and protect her and help her out, and you know. So yeah, very interesting movie. Pretty good action, lots of good action, but also a good story. It's got some heart. Good. It's got some heart in it. All right, number 24 is Darkman. That's right, with Liam Neeson, Larry Drake. Okay, those are the two big names that I know. Liam Neeson plays Darkman. Larry Drake is the villain, Robert G. Durant. Okay, but I thought that was an awesome cover. I admire and dig artwork when they come up with some interesting artwork. That's Darkman right there. This movie is, you know, not only is it just an awesome movie in my opinion on its own, but this movie also holds special meaning to me because, you know, my grandmother, that's no longer here with me, you know, she was basically like my mom. She raised me until I was 21. I lived with my grandma from when I was like 9 until 21, okay? But she took me to see this movie at the theaters because I remember it was the day before school started. So it's just one of those things that that's just something I'm never going to forget. And also, you know, so yeah, it's special to me for that reason. So I thought I would share that with you guys. But Darkman 24 on its own, still a good movie. It's like an action. I don't want to say basically another action fantasy. You know, kind of like RoboCop was, like fantasy. Because I want to say action sci-fi, but you know, he's a scientist. He's trying to develop this liquid skin for people, for like burn victims. You know, so he's having trouble with it, but things kind of, you know, his life gets turned upside down because these villains, you know, they come in, they cross paths, but they leave him for dead, but he's, you know, they basically created a monster though. So it's pretty cool though, because he can take a photograph of somebody and he can, like, you know, basically make this skin, because he can make it to last like 99 minutes in the light. That's why they call it Darkman, because in the dark it would still be okay, but after 99 minutes in the light, the liquid skin would like disintegrate and melt. But he can take a photograph of somebody and make himself look like that person. So there's a lot of like, hey, who's the real one, you know? And so that's kind of cool. So anyways, Darkman number 24, check it out. Number 23 is Friday the 13th Part 3. This is my only Friday the 13th on this list, on my top 100. I did have number 4 on my list at one point, but there was a couple of the movies that kind of edged it out, you know, after I like revisited it. Like kind of when I you know, first I put Part 4 on here, but then when I revisited my list and I was like, I kind of like these other movies better. But anyways, Friday the 13th Part 3 is my favorite Friday the 13th. There's some screenshots on the back. Okay, so yeah, well, I think why I like this one so much is, like, to me, this is where like things really took off. This is where Jason got the hockey mask and wore it for the first time. Right? You know, from Shelley. Shelley was like kind of the goofball. He played pranks and tricks on people, and he brought a hockey mask with him to scare somebody, right? So, you know, Jason basically at some point takes the hockey mask from Shelley. That's how he gets it, right? But yeah, here you can see there's a good view of there's Jason there choking Chris in the van. She's trying to get away. That's towards the end. That's in the third act. Yeah, I don't know. I just dig this one. I dig also the atmosphere. There's a barn in this movie. A barn. It's kind of an essential. It's a big part of the movie. Like, a lot of things take place in the barn. Bad things usually. Okay, but yeah, I don't know. This one just stuck out to me. Yeah, Friday the 13th Part 3. And it's not ultra gory, too. Okay, that's the thing. I don't like ultra gore, but this one's not too bad. It's not over the top. But yeah, Friday the 13th Part 3 is number 23. Number 22. Batman. Yes, the original Batman. With Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Also Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. Yeah, this one is my favorite Batman movie of all time. And once again, just like Darkman, okay, this one also has special meaning to me. Because, once again, this was a movie that my grandmother took me to see at the movie theaters. And then we also took along, like, a great-great-aunt of mine at the time, which she's no longer with us also. So, yeah, it was me, my grandmother, and my great-great-great-aunt, I believe. I think it was 3 greats she was. Went to see Batman at the theaters. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's just, never going to forget that, right? Special meaning to me. So, yeah. But again, the movie on its own, Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I mean, to me, his performance is second to none. Now, I know a lot of people like Heath Ledger's Joker and, The Dark Knight. For me, I don't want to talk really bad about that, but for me, Jack Nicholson Joker is where it's at. So Batman, the original Batman from 1989, is number 22. And coming in at number 21 is the original Jaws. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss. Chief Brody, Quint, and Matt Hooper, right? The oceanographer. Those 3 guys, those 3 characters, out on the boat, hunting and chasing the shark. I mean, this is a timeless classic. I've watched other top 100 videos, and I can't believe that this one doesn't make the list. I'm like, especially like, okay, I'll just put this out there. A guy that I watch on YouTube, I'm not going to say any names because I don't like to do that sometimes. Now, a lot of his movies I liked on his top 100, but he had movies like American Pie, and maybe even this American Pie 2, the sequel, but you're not going to have Jaws. I have issues with that, right? Okay, but yeah, to me this is a masterpiece, kind of like Halloween. Right? And why I like this movie so much is, like I said, there's 3 characters. Number 1, there was a very interesting dynamic between those 3. So that was one thing. Plus, like I said, you don't see the actual shark until like later in the movie. You see the effects of it. You see him pull people under the water. Okay? And so therefore there was this mystery. There was this mystery about, like, wow, how big is this thing? It's like you just saw what it was doing. You saw a killer whale, okay? A killer whale like Shamu at SeaWorld washed up on the beach because it had a big chunk bitten out of it. The shark did that. So it's like, man, you see the things it's doing, and then later on in the movie you finally get the reveal of the monster, and it just was kind of built the suspense, build it, up to that. And yes, it was a real mechanical shark, right? A physical shark in the water, in the real ocean. Again, I'll appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'll watch that anytime over a freaking computer animated shark. It's like, computer animated, it's just, I don't know, I just don't dig it. It's just like, I mean, yeah, you could tell this shark was okay, but at least it was a real physical, tangible thing in the water that the actors could interact with. They're not trying to pretend, okay, they're not behind a green screen and, okay, now pretend it's here and just do this. It's like, no, they didn't have to do that because the shark was physically there and they're interacting with it, right? Physically. So, to me, you can't beat it. You cannot beat that. So, yeah, anyways, Jaws, right? After all this time, came out in 1975. Still, in my opinion, the best shark movie to date. Alright, so that's number 21.